Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Haggis, Highland cows, Loch Ness, red hair, and pale skin.
What do you think of the mountains?
Hello, I'm Frederick Alston, and I will be your reporter for the next 5 days on our journey to Edinburgh, Scotland. I would like to introduce for you the documentary Hunting the Scottish Identity.
Scotland, in Gaelic named Alba, is a country that is a part of the United Kingdom. It is the northern island of Great Britain. Scotland have an area around 79,000 square kilometers and a population of almost 5 million. Glasgow is the largest city, but Edinburgh is the country's capital and the second largest city.
Hello, we are here at Edinburgh Castle, and this is the center of Edinburgh. We are here to meet the historian Maria Lerge, who is a ghost hunter and who has studied the history of Edinburgh Castle.
Hello and welcome to Edinburgh Castle. I worked here for 15 years and is expert in the history of Edinburgh Castle and a ghost hunter. I'll tell you about Edinburgh Castle and the history behind it. First of all, this is Victoria's Tower where she was taken. I'll now show the rest. The castle has been used for royal residence and military base. The ghosts who hunt this castle is the English prisoners. I'll now try to find some ghosts to you and make a contact with them so we can hear about their history in the dungeon. We're now in the dungeon where the English prison was kept. I can hear something. A ghost is talking to me. I can hear. It's taking my mind. Can you hear the ghost? Let's go and find the ghost! I'm a ghost hunter!
I can't say I've ever seen anything, but there are people that do believe, but I've never seen anything to suggest that there's ghosts here at the castle.
Okay. Do you think it's typical Scottish to be superstitious?
I think there are quite a lot of superstitions, old wives' tales. A lot of people in certain industries, fishermen, that kind of thing, they're very superstitious even to this day about how they do their jobs.
Are there any superstitious history here at Edinburgh Castle?
To be honest, more of the superstitious people in here will be the military. The military tend to be superstitious, they like their ritual, they like to do things in a certain way. Most of the staff here don't do things in certain ways, but we keep up traditions more than anything else and superstitions. That's why we still fire the gun. It's no longer really a time signal, but we still fire it. We still keep the tradition of the tattoo going on outside the esplanade, so we keep traditions going more than anything else.
We've heard about a haunted dog here, is that true?
But what we do have here, whether there are ghosts, up there we do have the dog cemetery.
Yeah,
so I've seen that. Various stories. Also what you'll find close to the castle is where we used to kill witches. So if there was going to be anything supernatural, it makes sense for it to be here. But
okay. Yeah.
We will now leave Edinburgh Castle, and the next stop on our journey is Loch Ness, where we will meet Maria Jensen, aka MJ.
Hello, my name is Maria Jensen, aka MJ. We now stand here in front of Loch Ness, as you can see in my background. It's placed here in the famous Highland, which me and the rest of Scotland is really proud of. Loch is the Scottish word for lake. So Loch Ness is really Lake Ness. At the deepest place, Loch Ness here is about 300 meters, and as you pretty much already know, it's here the famous sea monster Nessie lives. Not many have seen Nessie, but of course I have. I use a lot of time on the lake feeding the monster, so it likes a lot of fish. Yeah. Christopher Columbus was the first one to see it. Two others have seen it in 1994, and of course me here a couple years ago. Thank you for listening.
Do you think Loch Ness is important for Scotland, for the identity of Scotland?
What's
Yes,
that?
regarding the monster.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
aye.
the monster.
Aye.
Do you in some way believe the monster?
No.
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 Okay. Do you think many Scottish people said they believe it, but do you think it's true?
No, I don't think it's true.
I don't
It could
think
be,
so.
but there's that many sightings.
Aye.
There's hundreds of sightings, so there's something.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a monster. I think it's something else.
Okay.
But do you believe the myth is kind of important for Scotland? That
It is.
that
It's,
it's recognized Scotland?
people go up to Loch Ness.
To Loch
Yeah.
Ness to see if they catch sightings of
Yeah.
it, but nobody has so far.
The biggest part of Scotland are speaking English, but there are two other lesser known languages that has been there much longer, and there are. It is Gaelic and Scots. For about 1,000 years ago, every Scottish was taught Gaelic, but now the language is only spoken on the island and the Western Highlands. Gaelic are talked of 1.5% of a population of 5 million people. Political status to English. Finally, are Danish, Scots and English very different, but in a way similar to each other. They belong all three to the same language family, the Germanic.
What do you think about the Gaelic language here in Scotland?
Gaelic language?
Yeah.
Well, not very many people speak it at all. In fact, my next door neighbour who was born in Islay, West Coast, she speaks. But very few people. It's perhaps something which should be encouraged.
Yeah.
And perhaps at schools, because these things fade away eventually and everyone forgets what it's all about.
Do you think the language will survive in the
I
future?
think it will survive because some schools have actually taken it on board. And there is a certain value, of course, in retaining the use of a language which was very popular at one point.
Do you think it's important for the Scottish identity?
It is actually, yes, because I suppose the language itself and perhaps whiskey go together.
Yeah.
Because the word is uskwabi, which is Gaelic. So it's quite important.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
In our search of the Scottish identity, we can deduce that the population are not as superstitious as we thought. In Scotland they focus a lot on keeping the traditions alive, such as Loch Ness, Nessie, the language and other old legends and histories.
Okay. Loch Ness is one of the biggest lakes here in Scotland. Fuck, hvad nu skal sige? Hvad nu skal
He played and we have never heard him since. Sometimes I can hear the bagpipe and he talks to me and plays, yeah. Jeg kunne slet ikke.
Who knows? Who knows? And you will find out in our movie number 2, 5, 4.